around making biscuits. Ah! Hey, you party people. What's happening? My name's Julia. I'm CLT Chomp. This is Chomp 101, and I'm at Haberdish right now. It's one of the hottest restaurants in the city. It's super Southern. When you think Southern, you should think Haberdish. Boom, there you go, cool. So today I'm gonna learn how to make these beautiful golden brown buttermilk biscuits. It's one of the most Southern dishes you can make. And you know, it's also kind of simple to make, and I think they figured that I couldn't mess this up, which is really good. I need to learn some more stuff from my repertoire. So we're gonna go behind the scenes. We're gonna learn a little bit more about what happens at this shindig. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this second episode of Chomp 101. I'm here today at Haberdish with owner Jeff Tony Dandle, and we're going to talk a little bit more about, you know, what happens a little bit behind the scenes, favorite menu items, you know, the good stuff, the things that you obviously need to know. So, yeah, well, thank you for meeting with us today.
This is awesome. Glad you guys are here.
Yeah, when I think of Southern, Haberdish is #1 on my list.
I love it.
I mean, don't tell my grandma, but y'all's food is better. Oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me. She's gonna smack me upside the head with a Bible.
We also have like a staff of 25 back there prepping all the time, so we got a little advantage.
Well, when people walk in, they see this beautiful atmosphere, and I feel like not many people know that there's a huge history behind every single detail in the restaurant.
Yeah, so we spent a lot of time researching the restaurant. We have like a great sense of place here in Noda, the old kind of mill town of Charlotte. There's a bunch of little touches that we've kind of thoughtfully done regionally, locally. It's like our food could be low country and Appalachian. Charlotte's the crossroads. So we have a lot of influences from around, and that's why it's hard to define and say, this is Charlotte cuisine or this is Charlotte, because we are a trading post, and that's what we do.
I would have never thought of like the crossroads between low country style cuisine and then Appalachian.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I've never ever heard of that before. You guys serve brunch every single day of the week except for Mondays. That's when they're closed.
We're closed on Monday.
So,
Tuesday through Friday brunch.
Tuesday through Friday brunch.
Yes.
But you're also open for dinner. I was here the other night.
Dinner's
super yum.
Cocktails.
Yeah.
Fried chicken. Yeah. So we use bay leaves to kind of get the tannins. And,
interesting, because usually bay leaves are associated with seafood.
Yeah. So it's just some bay leaves in the brine and some other process. So we go through that whole process of we brine it every night, and that's why I think we sell a lot of white meat here. I'm a thigh eater, dark meat eater. But our white meat, because we brine it and go through those extra steps, is super tasty. And we do the buttermilk hot sauce dip, so kind of get a little of that, and the dredge, and then we let it rest, and then
But like, is there a particular item on your menu that you're like, time and time again, this is my favorite, this is the go-to, my gut feeling, I have to have this? Yeah.
I go for the sides and the vegetables. The guys have free reign to do a cold side and a hot side, and they change every single day, and I love what they're getting from the farmers market and all that local stuff and those things. But I think the fried chickens can't miss for sure.
Yes.
The mac and cheese with the chicken skins is
so good.
Yeah, it is awesome.
I had it the other day for breakfast, actually. I was like, whatever, man, like this is so good.
And and I think just the nuances in the food, from the smoking of the eggshells and the deviled eggs and the sweet tea butter that goes with the hush puppies. Like I love that stuff. It's great.
I'm like so excited right now. I'm like,
I'm hungry. Yeah.
Let's get to it. Let's go to the kitchen.
So we'll get Carmen back there, and he'll start cooking up some stuff. Sounds good.
Well, thanks, Jeff.
Cool.
All right, time to party. Let's make some biscuits. I think this should be good. I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. Let's go. Step 1, gotta get all your ingredients together, because what are you doing if you don't have your ingredients together? Are you making matzah? I didn't think so. You're gonna need a pound of butter, pound of shortening, 3.5 pounds of self-rising flour, which just basically means it has baking powder and salt in it. So simplicity at its best. Awesome. Super cheap at the grocery store. Y'all got this. You're gonna need to add some baking soda and 4 cups of buttermilk, because obviously these are buttermilk biscuits. Yay! So simple recipe, perfect, hard to screw this up. I really want to place an emphasis on this. If you can do it, I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Yay, team. So step number 2, let's avoid biscuit hands. That is what Chef Carmen calls a sticky situation, sticky business, risky business. Oh, it's so funny. And you know, you're gonna make more biscuits with all the time saved from not having to wash your hands as much. And if you have family members that are afraid of cross-contamination or gluten, I don't know, just wear gloves, cool? And then step 3, you're gonna break up all the ingredients with your hands. So watch me do this, y'all. Watch me make biscuits like a cat. Just pat that stuff. You're gonna break it all up. You're gonna incorporate everything together. Mix it all together. Mix it. As I am making biscuits, I felt like this is the perfect opportunity to tell you that Chef Carmen's cat is also named Biscuits. And he does this exact same motion that I'm doing, and I think this is the most marvelous thing I've ever heard. I just wanted to let y'all know. But anyway, all right, sprinkle on your baking soda. This is important. Don't forget this part. All right, by the way, butter and lard are cold ingredients in this case, and they're gonna help the biscuits be really, really pretty, so you need to keep them cold. If they're not cold, you're gonna have some really ugly, gross biscuits, and then your family's gonna talk about you at your cookout about how you screwed up the most simple recipe you can make. Don't be that person. Keep them cold and you'll be fine. R.I.P. Piggy. Ooh, cause you know, lard comes from pigs, but it's yum. Okay. You're gonna put all of the cold ingredients into the dry ingredients, and then you're gonna break it all up. So you're gonna take your thumb and your index finger, put them together like you're almost gonna snap, and then you're gonna make them into little nickel, dime, your coin of preference pieces. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Break them into little chunks. Mix it all in, mix it all in, mix it all in. Watch me do this. See? If I can do it, you can do it. All right. Well, thanks, Chef Carmen. I think I got it from here. I think. We'll find out. Cool. So how many biscuits do you think you make a day?
Probably somewhere in the vicinity of 96 individual biscuits.
Oh my
We'll
God.
probably be able to get 24 out of this batch right here. So yeah, we're doing it in big old tubs, big old bowls.
I hope y'all
biscuits.
hungry, because I don't know what we're gonna do with all these biscuits. We'll feed them to Biscuit.
Yeah. She would love that.
Oh my God, yay.
Make sure everything's coated, everything's evenly distributed. Now you don't want to get it completely mixed into the flour, or else it'll be too doughy, too gluten-y, and you're not going to have nice fluffy biscuits. Perfect. So you see how we still have those little chunks of butter here and little chunks of lard everywhere? That's what you're looking for, that kind of little guys like that.
Texture.
And some texture, yeah. Now that we have our fat cut into our flour, we are going to add about 4 cups of buttermilk to it. We're going to add it just a little bit at a time, mix it in, because there is a chance that sometimes you might need more a liquid or less liquid, so it's always good to just add what you need. Keep going. We're going to mix this in.
Look at that.
Yep. Go ahead and pour another little bit in.
All right. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Yeah. Now we'll be looking for like a shaggy looking dough once the buttermilk is incorporated in. All right, just a little bit more.
Okay. It's gonna be delicious.
You can go ahead and add the last little bit.
Alrighty.
We'll be looking good. You want to do the last little bit?
Why not?
Hey, go ahead.
I brought like get it from the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to kind of like almost toss it instead of
This is harder than
Yeah.
it looks, man. Because like once you have all that buttermilk in there, it's actually kind of heavy. And you make like 96 individual ones a day.
At the very least, 96.
That's a lot of heavy lifting.
Just get hands, see what I said?
Come on, guys, we can do it. Yeah, just kind of, there we go. You were not kidding.
Yep. So we can probably take our gloves off now. Now for the fun part. I'm actually going to wear another pair of gloves for this part. I'm going to flour up this work surface a little bit. We're going to turn out the dough. We're going to start rolling it and folding it. I just have some regular all-purpose flour. You can still use your your self-rising flour for this part, but
Okay.
the all-purpose flour isn't going to change anything chemically. Turn this guy out. Whoop. So see how he's still kind of like shaggy and
Bumpy.
and
Got
bumpy.
everything in there.
And once we start forming this and rolling out, it's going to look a lot better. Kind of get him into one homunculus mass.
I love that word.
A little bit of flour on top. And as we roll and fold, it'll further incorporate all the ingredients together.
I think I have that same rolling pin at home.
These are great, the French style rolling pins.
Yeah, my mom gave it to me as a housewarming present, but unfortunately it's not been used.
Well, now you know how to make biscuits. You
I
know how to
know.
make biscuits.
She'll be so proud.
And now this part is very important for getting your layers and your structure for your biscuits. We're going to be folding it over onto itself. And the more you fold, the more layers you're going to create. But we don't want to fold it too much or else it'll develop too much gluten and you'll get chewy biscuits instead of fluffy biscuits.
I had never heard of something like that, the layers and the gluten. I think people forget that baking is very scientific.
Yes. And so I'll probably do 3 to 4 folds on the dough. Add a little bit more flour if you need to. It starts to stick.
I mean, you still see the lumps, but then at the same time, that's gonna melt down
It's
and
gonna
make
melt.
it super, super, super rich in flavor, very buttery. Not just because it's butter in there, it's
Right.
lard too, which is making me really hungry just saying.
All right, so we have our nice dough here. I like to keep at least ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch thick. That will also help the size of the biscuits as well. All right, perfect. So next step, yes, our handy dandy ring cutter.
I just figured.
We're gonna start cutting, so if you wanna start cutting some rings out. What we also do with our leftover biscuit dough is we make cinnamon rolls out of it. So that if you have a whole bunch of extra biscuit dough left, you can roll it out to a sheet. Yeah, roll it out to a sheet. Add some, spread some melted butter onto it. Add some cinnamon and some brown sugar and bake it.
I feel like a mind reader. I was thinking about cinnamon rolls for the past 48 hours and where I could like get one. Look at that.
Yep. Pop this guy out. This guy. Boom.
Boom.
That's a full tray of biscuits right there.
That was so exciting.
Yeah.
So we
Alright.
pop them in the oven. How hot is our oven?
We have our convection on, and that's going to help distribute the heat a lot more evenly. First, we're going to take a little bit of egg yolk. We're going to brush them on top of our biscuits. Now, you could do a whole egg, or sometimes people put butter on there, but the butter is not going to add a lot of color to it. The egg yolk is going to add that beautiful golden brown color on top of the biscuits. Just makes the contrast in color really pop. And so these are our completed biscuits. All right.
They're just so pretty.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Look at these little guys.
Very aesthetically pleasing to me. But they'll be even more aesthetically pleasing when they're golden brown and done. And with sweet tea butter.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pop this in the oven.
Right here.
Yep. Put it on the top shelf. And it's gonna take about 12 to 15 minutes to cook. We're gonna set a 4-minute timer, and we're gonna rotate them every 4 minutes until they are.
These biscuits would not be complete without some sweet tea butter.
No, they would not.
Okay, I'm really excited about this part because I don't think I've ever had sweet tea butter with a biscuit before. So this is new for me as well.
Yeah, it was kind of a new thing when we were developing the menu, kind of just like a fun little schmearable butter we could put on the biscuits. So like, why don't we just reduce some sweet tea and add it to butter? Because sweet tea is southern and biscuits are southern, and it just kind of went hand in hand.
Combo the two, power move.
Yeah. If I could replace my blood with sweet tea, I could. I would. It's so good.
I think I would do coffee because
Yeah.
that's what I
Okay, so first I brought out a pound of butter. I let it sit out, let it soften up because we're going to be beating it in the mixer here. It'll be easier to beat and mix and incorporate if it's room temp. We're going to throw it into our mixer.
Boom.
Boom. We're just going to let it spin and beat it up just a little bit until
There she goes.
kind of take it off and scrape it down with our rubber spatula.
If you gave me $5, I'd eat that entire thing.
Oh, I don't know if it'd be worth $5 for you to eat this whole thing.
Super
Now-
whippy.
That'll look super whippy, yeah. And next we're gonna add our sweet tea syrup. We just brew normal black tea that you would do at any other restaurant or at home in tea bags. For our batch size, we do about 4 gallons of tea. 6 cups of sugar. At home, you could probably just make like a pitcher of tea and sweeten it to your taste level. And you're gonna cook it down to reduce most of the water out, and you'll be left with this wonderful dark colored syrup here. We're gonna go ahead and add that in here.
Yum. Pretty color.
Almost looks like molasses.
Or like a dark maple syrup.
Yeah. Kind of still smell that tea aroma in there too. Oh, it's our
Biscuit
biscuit
time.
timer. We're gonna check our biscuits. Just about there. We're gonna turn them another 4 minutes. So we got our tea syrup in there. We got our butter, and we're just gonna
Whip
whip
it.
it until it's all, as the Band Diva would say, whip it.
I love that color. It kind of reminds me of some sort of like frosting. Yeah.
So we're gonna scrape down our sides just to make sure everything's nice and incorporated. And it looks like we're there.
Looks bomb. And that's gonna pair really nicely with how golden brown those biscuits and warm they are. It's gonna melt right in there.
Right in.
And then it brings a whole new sweet component to something that's already buttery and savory.
Plop it in our...
Carbs are awesome.
Carbs are awesome. I don't know why people hate on carbs. They're so delicious.
Looks like we just have a little bit over a minute. So we hang tight and then we snack. We feast. Use jazz fingers to make the timer go faster.
It works.
Time.
All right, it's biscuit time. Look at those guys.
They're beautiful.
Aren't they? That golden brown color from the egg yolks, they've risen up pretty significantly.
All the layers
You
going
can still see the
upward.
layers. Yeah. You guys came out all right.
Butter my buns and call me biscuit. Wow. I think it's time we eat.
All right.
Thank you so much for having us in today. I learned a lot. This is
Yeah.
awesome. My family's gonna be so impressed
Good,
with
you
me.
can make biscuits for next time.
I know. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming in.